Shine Astrology, and today we are going to do something a little fun on Tarot Tuesday. We are going to do a pick a card reading. I'm picking one of the strongest energies of the week. It's going to be happening on June 29th. Pluto in Capricorn, which is in retrograde, is going to be in an exact conjunction with Jupiter and Capricorn. This means they are in the same exact degree. Why is this significant? Because it means that these energies have combined. And when energy combines, it creates an intensity in energy. And we want to be mindful if we are trying to understand how to get the best out of energy. We want to be super mindful of what this means for us. Now, here's the tea. The tea is, dude, at the same moment that this happens, we have a moon in Scorpio squaring this. Moon in Scorpio. So first of all, Pluto rules Scorpio. And so it's especially significant because this energy is all in retrograde, which means it is in the far reaches of the mind. It is in the past. It is, it could be regression. It can mean regret even. It can mean remorse. I mean, it can mean lots of things. When we start getting into retrograde cycles, it means that what comes out of a retrograde cycle is just a very, very intense energy. So, this Pluto and Capricorn energy is, and I'm just giving you guys a little blurb at the beginning so that you understand what I'm talking about. I'll snip this into each reading, the beginning of each one, because you have to know the context of why I'm even doing this reading in the first place. I mean, you've got Pluto and Capricorn in this exact conjunction, same exact degree, and they're both in a conjunction with Saturn as well. And Saturn is sitting, in this energy. So in Aquarius, in 0 degrees. So it is, however, this big giant conjunction is in a gorgeous sextile with Neptune and Pisces, which is in retrograde. And Jupiter and Neptune both rule Pisces. So there's a couple ways this can play out. This can play out to be one of the most beautiful and magical experiences where we were once hopeless and now have hope. Okay, that's one way this could go down. Where something comes back that makes us, it just restores faith, that everything is going to be fine and that we can actually have what we've always dreamed of. And that is possible in this energy. What's also possible in this energy is truths coming out. Very dark truths, very disturbing truths can come out of this energy from the past that will help shape and form the way that we move on from a period where we are questioning how we want what we want for our future, how we feel about how secure we are right now, I guess is the wording. How stable is everything right now. So this has a lot to do with, of course, politics, government. It has a lot to do with anything that governs us. Any rules or regulations that we have to abide by, and anybody who enforces those rules. It has to do with power and control issues. But you guys, this is some deep stuff, because anytime we get a moon in Scorpio, we are diving so deep, and we may be being triggered. We may be going into our fears. Our fears may be popping out. This is definitely one of those energies that can resurface things that you thought had died, right? Because I'm talking in the term of death when you talk Pluto and you talk Scorpio. You're getting into some dark places. Those energies rule the underworld. And so the darkest parts of a truth can come out in energy like this. Having said that, what can come out of this is complete restoration, redemption from our past. Okay, so those are all things that can come out of this energy. So I'm going to go ahead and just start out. We still have Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, still squaring off with Mars and Aries. Mars rules Scorpio. I just want to point that out, and so does Pluto. And Scorpio the moon is in Scorpio, which is our emotions. So with all that context, let's jump in. And we're going to start out our very first pile. So if you picked pile number 1, I'm going to be right back, and we're going to see what pile 1 has to say about this unique time frame. Well, hello, pile 1. Okay. So I'm just going to do what I always do. I feel that one. Oop, I feel this one right here. I feel this one. Okay. So I did do some pre-shuffling just because I don't want these readings to be that long. Neither do you. I mean, it's intense enough even talking about this energy, let alone sitting here and shuffling through every single one of these. So it's like a little bit of what the tarot has to say about, there's the oops, my bad. Sorry. This is, why are you being so drama now? Okay. So this is consciousness. This is the bridge. This is the subconscious mind. Oops. I'll just do it this way. Okay. This is what everything, I'm not going to do reversals for you, although everything was like, there's a lot of reversals, dude, but we won't do that in this reading. Nobody needs to see that kind of stuff. It's hard enough dealing with them upright, right? Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and just lay everything out really quick so that we can have enough time to do everything in. Oh, I love the Empress. That, of course, is the outcome right here from this big conjunction for you. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. Okay, guys. So, energy, past stuff, because we've got a lot of retrograde energies. Let's talk a little bit about all of this past stuff sitting here. We've got the 10 of Wands. We've got the Queen of Swords, and we've got the 5 of Swords. I just want to see if there's any... Sorry, I just got to take a look at the big picture here. 8 of Cups, Ace of Wands. Okay. 3 of Cups. Okay. So, past related. We have taking action, and we walked away from something. And we did that because we needed to break free, regain some power in our situation, remove ourselves from something, and just relocate and just get back on track. I mean, that's what I feel like this past was all about. There just seems to be in this energy just a lot of fighting, there was a no-win situation. And so I feel like it was just, you had to walk away from it. You had to, choose yourself, choose peace of mind, and move forward and learn and grow from it. When we hit these experiences where we wrestle with something as big as Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, This could be just, an external circumstance that there was just no winning. You couldn't, there was no way to get through it. And so you basically just have to leave the scenario, leave it behind, and just learn and grow from it. And it looks like you guys did that pretty successfully because you have, whoops, what the heck? My bad. Oh, hello, Emperor. Okay. All right. So, so you guys moved past it, and, there was a feeling of victory from doing that. There was a regaining of some status, of some friends. You've grown a lot since then. Anytime you have the Emperor, this whole thing is centering around growth for you in particular. It's getting back in touch with your inner child, with that fire within, with that excitement, with that hope for the future. And the Empress is really in favor of that. You took the actions, you did what you needed to do. The reward was, you got a 4 of Wands from the scenario, and you've grown from it. And as you move forward, it's the bringing in of something new. So one of the things that can happen from this, I feel like you guys are very caught up in the most benefic energy in this, if you chose pile 1. And that is just Neptune and Pisces, which is in retrograde, is in a beautiful sextile with this, and has a lot of blessings from the universe. Because if you put Saturn, that rules karma and time, Jupiter, that rules expansion and is benefic energy, blessings. And if you've got Pluto, which is the death of something, to be reborn from something, these are all sitting in foundational energies. And we have the 4, we have the Emperor. So you can't get stronger than this 4 right here. And then I really like these 3 together because this is your conscious world. This was the bridge. This is what led to consciousness from what dwelled within, like deep inside the subconscious mind. Because you took the stand and you wanted something more for yourself, and you wanted stability in your life. You took a really risky, foolish stand, and you went forward with what you were being guided to do, and it has really paid off for you. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is, it's slow, steady growth, but it's growth that lasts for a while. And so you're still building, but because you have the Emperor, everything that you are doing is creating a really, really, really solid foundation for you. This energy right here, it was definitely tied to an emotional situation, but it was almost like, I feel like you left to save yourself. I feel like you decided that enough was enough, and you need to untether yourself from the situation, and you needed to walk away to save yourself, and to make your, give you some stability. And in turn, there was this new energy. And if you look at right here, guys, this is like huge. For those of you who chose pile 1, what ushered into your life was just this feeling of empowerment, and this, what you're centering everything around is, when we start over, when we get these offers from the universe, they're offers that are rewards. And in this case, I feel like you guys are in the benefic energy of this, which means karma is saying a lesson's been learned. I mean, you have 3 aces here. Okay, that is gorgeous. You have the Ace of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords. So this is the knowledge and empowerment, and just the ability to think clearly. You have something heart-based, an offer for something heart-based coming into your life, but you also have the passion and the fire to take action once you take once you take these offers. And I feel like you guys are ready for this. I feel like you guys have been through a lot. You're ready to take the actions. You're ready to proceed. You know that. And one of the synchronicities that I see that we have here, I'm just going to show you really quick, is 8s. So you untethered yourself. You released yourself from the situation that was taking away your willpower and your strength to move forward. And you had the strength to do it. And this is an internal strength. When this is sitting in your subconscious mind, this means that you guys are internally, able to make these changes. And when you build strength from within, you create a really solid foundation to make anything possible, which is all these aces that we have here. And the 3 of Cups is just abundance and friends. And, the Empress is in here too, another synchronicity. Let's make sure there's no other 3s. The Empress rules 3s. So you have the 3 of Cups and the Empress. You have grown so much that it's time to grow and expand in your emotional life. To build emotional connections and bonds and unions with people that promise some sort of potential, but long-term, very, very long-term potential. So let's take a look and see what your oracle cards have to say in all of this. So we have Forest, muddled and unclear thinking. I do think there was a time for you guys that you did have problems with being grounded, and you were on a very turbulent time mentally. I think of this card when I see that from your past. But you've since defeated that and moved forward from that. Weeping Willow, family sorrow. So maybe some of this has to do with your family. Maybe the way that you guys proceed forward. So Capricorn energy, has to do with anything, any kind of authority. So some of you may have had a falling out with your family. But I love this, the tiger. So this is doing something risky and taking a chance. And I think of the Fool here, right next to the Emperor. So taking a chance it can feel like, or you're getting a lot of advice from people in your ear, chit-chatting. Maybe you're taking a financial chance right now. Maybe you're thinking about going a different route in your financial situation. Or maybe your career path. Maybe you might be making a really big change, because I think of this. And with all this Capricorn energy, it would impact your stability a little bit, but I feel like it's going to be good news for you. Spirit animal today is the frog, and that's water energy. So the sun is sitting in Cancer right now. That's in water energy. Mercury, which is in retrograde, it's sitting in the Cancer energy. It's sitting in water energy. And so I think this is a great spirit animal for you to tune into. Okay. Ooh, we have the King. We have the light aspect of the King is, it is enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. And the shadow aspects of that could be excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. That could be an abuse of power. I feel like you guys have moved past that, because, one of the things that I see so much in here is just the fact how much control you have over your life. I feel like in the past, we have some 2s here. So let's talk a little bit about these 2s. It's making a plan, being a little bit indecisive about how to move forward. I do think with this giant burst of energy, I do think that what comes out of this is just the clarity of what it's going to take for you to move forward with. I think is going to be super gorgeous in this energy. Oh, I love this. Love, I commit to the practice of seeing all the good things. And if you do that, you will manifest this Ace of Cups coming into your life, this Three of Cups coming into your life. It will create all this energy around ushering in healthy, long-lasting, meaningful relationships coming into your life for you. I love that. That's a great little one to get. We have the Frog Spirit. Okay, so next we have commitment. Oh, you are getting, okay, so Capricorn energy rules commitment. Okay, it rules the future, rules stability. And so this is an event in your life that kind of changes everything and changes the dynamic about how you're going to move forward. I feel like somebody probably will come into your life, or a situation or a job offer or something that's going to come into your life that is really going to change the way that you think about committing to something. I think in the past you could have been a little bit fearful, and you're past that now. Realization, the waxing crescent moon. Realizations in the emotional area of you can change everything, can create a dynamic that is monumental. And the realization, I think of this sextile that we're having in Neptune and Pisces, which that is a realization. Neptune rules illusion, but in a sextile, in a really positive way or a really negative way, it could just mean the realization of your circumstance. If you accept the reality of your circumstance, you can make decisions to move forward, to walk away. That will stabilize everything and create really good energy in your life. Lust. You have at first, relationships do start out a little bit lusty, right? They start out with attraction and sex and all of those things that really fire you up. So do I think lust is possible in this reading? Absolutely. There's so much having to do with a new beginning. And lust is like one of the best feelings because you have love and lust represented here. So you may be lucky enough to attract somebody into your life that you actually are very, very attracted to and lust after. Karma and DNA. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this because Saturn is karma, and Saturn is conjunct all of this energy right now. And Saturn, in its best possible mood, is releasing you from old karmic patterns and lessons and relationships that were toxic. And you can move forward with something new. Birth, well, we've talked a lot about Pluto and Capricorn. It does represent the birth of something. You are getting very, very positive energy. You guys do have to find a way to counteract this indecisiveness. But I feel like once you guys make the decision to move forward, once you guys get passionate, once you start really thinking about it, you start to really tap into all of this energy, trying to transform your circumstance right now. Courage. Oh yeah, well, we talked a lot about this. The eights are courage, because it takes a lot of courage to move forward with something. It takes a lot of courage to take the actions that you need to take. But as we've already talked about, you've been through a lot, and I think it's time to have these conversations with yourself. And then we've got two more. We've got setting up parameters. Assess your relationships and determine how they are aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. This is just such a strong relationship reading, and I do not have that in mind, by the way. This isn't about for you, anybody who picks pile one, it is about a relationship. I think about setting up parameters. I think about no longer being foolish. You know, you've done it once, you've cleared that karma from your life. And now when you go to move forward and to accept things, you make them with this in mind. You look at a partner, you look at people that you add to your life. This, you know, attraction can mean many things. It can mean also friends. Anybody that you attract into your life, you have to set up boundaries so that you don't ever have this situation again. Where did I see it? Sorry, it's so much on the table now. So you don't ever have that situation again. So you have learned a lot. You became this Queen of Swords here, this divine feminine. And look at her. She's disconnected. Even if she goes into an emotional situation, she has a lot of pain and logic that forms her opinions. And so she goes into everything with a strategy and an intellect about her. She's achieved that level in her life. Okay. Sorry, I'm making a mess here. And then the final one is trust yourself. Probably one of the most important things that you will probably be confronted with as we are in this retrograde cycle and karma is releasing us and we are moving forward. You know, we're taking this energy and we're moving forward with it. You have to trust yourself to get back out there, to start taking chances, to start something new. Oops, I'm sorry. You know, you've got to learn to trust yourself. And that comes with an inner knowing and an inner believing that you deserve something more than you've had in your past. So that is everything for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi guys, this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology. And you guys have picked pile number 2. And I just told you a little bit about what to expect. That was in my last reading, by the way. So that might be a sign for you guys. This was actually in pile number 1. So you might want to check that out if that really caught your eye and you resonated with the 3 of Cups energy. Having said that, let's just going to shuffle these one more time just because I worry that they're not mixed up. Put that up there. Okay. So Pluto in Capricorn, and it is in the exact conjunction with Jupiter. What does pile 2 get to look forward to? Why do I feel these 3 cards so bad? You know, I'm gonna keep going because what if that's just because I feel pile number 1's energy? Wouldn't that be terrible? I've done that before, so that's when I feel. Well, no, Fred. What are you doing? Sorry, this felt like right under. Oops, and I looked up and caught this one. So yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and I will put these all back together. I know this is a strange way to do it, but I've done it this way since I very first started drawing my tarot cards. And I've tried different ways, but this is when I have big events, this is what I do. And actually for my personal readings at home, this is what I do. So I'm going to stick with it. It works for me. Okay. We got the Queen of Swords in the last reading, and she was in the past in pile number 1. So guys, pile number 1 significant. We got 5 of Pentacles. Oh, okay, whatever. Well, look at that. We got her no matter what. So that's the 3 of Cups that fell out of the deck. She really wants to talk about your future. So we're going to go ahead and just listen to this beautiful deck and give her the voice she wants to have. And I call my decks girls. I don't know why. No offense to you divine masculines out there, my beauties, but I'm like that. Not a sexist, but I'm like, oh, I love this card coming up in the consciousness. So this is Let me just go ahead and turn these up right. Okay, so this is the subconscious, this is the bridge to consciousness, and this is consciousness. So this is what it's going to take to go to here. Sometimes we bury stuff in our subconscious. It's a little easier to listen, you know, like we put up a wall because something painful. So, Queen of Swords in your past, probably a little bit emotionally detached. A relationship that was a lot more mental, I hear. Just had a much more rational and logical approach. Didn't have a lot as far as to offer in the emotional realm. Distant. I see the Queen, the Divine Feminine, as being distant. I don't know why. So that's past. So what's going on with this? Page of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these all out. Oh, okay. Ooh. Heavy duty cards, man. This came up too. God, pile one is in this reading. It's in this reading. It's very significant, you guys. So I definitely would get in tune with pile number one for sure. Oh, my favorite lady. Queen of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Four of Swords, the Page of Swords. And this outcome up here, oops, I'm going to move these over here. The outcome, Ace of Swords. Yeah, we got a lot of these cards in the first one, and you guys saw, you know, it's kind of impossible to get the same cards with my readings. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this. See, what do I think your energy aligns with, so I can talk to you about how to deal with it. Well, for one thing, I see so probably the heaviest cards in this deck that I personally cringe when I get is these two guys. You know, this just signifies, you know, just not wanting to see your reality, you know, not wanting to take the blindfold off and face, having to move forward or to make that decision, that tough decision. That's what I see in these cards. And these two aces actually came up in pile number one, so we're going to talk about those. Okay. Sorry, I usually, when I am at home, I spend time looking for synchronicities because I want to see if there's, yeah, we have the Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, pages. We got two pages. Okay, so I feel like there was a time when there was a little bit of naivety around emotions, and there was maybe not as emotionally formed or developed because this person, either you're watching for or you are just a little bit, you're much more rational and logical. You make decisions about emotion based on, you know, just that rational, logical approach. It also doesn't help you form and help your emotions grow up to adulthood. You stay almost in some sort of naivety or, you know, just a mindset where you're still learning about how to get in touch with your emotions. This could also, when I see this sitting in the past, you know, I think of, you know, a detachment from emotion. You got to a certain point and then there was like an emotional cutoff. That's what I see with that. Seven of Pentacles. I feel like the physical realm and the material realm in this particular reading was very important. It was all about learning and getting to a certain status that goes along lines with Pluto and Capricorn, which is in retrograde, in this exact conjunction with Jupiter and Capricorn, which is in retrograde, and then conjunct Saturn, both of them conjunct Saturn. So the material realm was really important, and developing something was really important. It was something that I feel like had a lot of passion and creativity, and it comes from a good place, but I just feel like it was a lot of work. There was a lot of work that went into it, and there hadn't been much reward from it, other than just this assurance from this person, this Queen of Swords, an assurance that you've learned a lot from this past experience, and you know what to take in moving forward. And that would be probably one of the highest vibrations of this energy. Anytime you go through karma and a retrograde cycle, it's the lessons you learn from your karmic lessons and relationships that is the most valuable. So I see in these three cards, this is the bridge. So this goes from the unconscious mind to consciousness. Feel the pain in this. So I feel like there was a great deal of loss. So we have the 10 of Swords, we have the 5 of Pentacles, and we have the 5 of Cups. We have 2 5s. And I feel like there was a lot of disappointment. There was a feeling of loss and remorse and some regret. You had to walk away from something that came with a very heavy mental burden. But it was a release at the same time. It was like walking away from something to save yourself, but it was a release because mentally it was driving you crazy. And I feel like, you're just, in general, it just seemed logical to do at the time. I mean, if something is going to put you through this kind of feeling, this kind of intense feeling, then you do have to walk away from it, and you do have to reevaluate it, and you do have to reflect on it and see what positivity you can take from a situation that is that stinking heavy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So let's look a little bit at the subconscious mind, because there's this gorgeous, absolutely stunning sextile with Neptune and Pisces. I'm always interested in the subconscious mind because that's where the good juju is. I mean, that's where the most powerful, positive energy, that's what we bring forth. That's how we can mutate from this to grow and to learn and to become something better. And that is also what we're going to be taking into the future. But we got to get through this block. And I feel like this is a block in energy. And we want to be released from this tether that we have to this situation, this energetic tethering that we do to like pessimism and to remorse and to regret, and we associate pain with it, and then we don't move past it, right? So let's look at these 3 cards. Take it slow. I would say this time when something new comes into your life, it's interesting because maybe this person or you at one point thought you knew everything, and then you learned, man, I didn't know anything at all. And so what's sitting in your subconscious, or this person's subconscious, is just the realization that there was a lot to learn, there's a lot to think about. When I see the 4 of Swords coming up in a retrograde cycle, we have Mercury in Cancer in retrograde, which means it wants some rest, it wants to relax, it wants to recuperate. And I feel like when you are recuperating, relaxing, reflecting over what happened, then you can pause and really tune into, well, what did I learn and what do I need to work on? How do I need to make this energy that I started to try to grow, that never fully lifted off and became abundant? And I think of all this Capricorn energy when I'm talking like this, this could have been a very hopeful, endeavor that you tied a lot of emotion to, and then it just stalled and stopped, and it just wasn't a good thing, and you had to walk away from it. So once you reflect and you move forward with this, and you tap into this ace, this opportunity for passion and love and the heart to come back into your life, I feel like that is when you can start to refine your thinking a little bit in this retrograde cycle, release yourself from this karmic journey that you were on, all this pain, and move forward. So consciousness, what are we trying to gain? Where are we trying to go and become conscious of? Well, this is all in your mind. For one thing, this 8 is all in your mind. It's in this mind right here. And you can walk away from that. You can just simply take your blindfold off, and you can face the reality of your circumstance. Because if you do that, the world will open up to you. But you've got to take off your blinder to this, because as you're blocking out the bad, so as you're blocking out the good energy, the good karma that you've attracted by doing the right things. All you're looking at is all the bad karma, the lessons, the hard lessons you have to learn when you're sitting in energy like this. But as you can see, you were always meant to have the world. You were meant to complete this cycle, to end it. This is karma in a very benefic mood, a completion, a culmination of it. And as we're going, guys, in a few days after this, we hit a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So it's time to release yourself and to figure out what all this meant, and to move forward with positivity instead of this feeling of lack and remorse and loss and suffering. Pentacle, it could have been a career, it could have been a life goal, an aspiration. There definitely could have been, there was a lot to learn. I see the 10 of Swords, I see the Page of Swords in here. There was a lot to learn from this, and you can have a do-over and start over again. There's no worries, and I love her. I love her so much. Look at her energy. Doesn't she just make you happy and want to just look at her? She wants to take this fire that's buried deep in your subconscious. She wants to ignite that match, man. She wants to make that flourish for you, and she wants to help you grow, because this divine feminine energy that you have is on fire. I mean, when you think about it, next month is Leo season. So anytime we get a lot of bursts of energy and wands, we're going into a fire-based energy. Let's take a look at this. So we have 3 of Cups. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, slow, steady growth. This isn't about things that won't stand the test of time. I just noticed too, you go from your outcome is you've got the Queen, back in her Knight. So if you do this bidding, know that you're protected, moving forward with this heart-based thing, I feel like, wow, you guys are on fire. But first, you've got to let go of these thoughts. You got to stop with this feeling sorry. This feels very victim mentality. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's a feeling of woe is me. This is a moon in Scorpio. So this is a lot of the darkest thoughts, the defining what you can't have, and the fears that all go along with the moon that's going to be in Scorpio, squaring off with this event, by the way, which means expanding these insecurities and these fears and these blocks that you've created for yourself. But as we can see, guys, slow, steady growth, take steps of progression slowly, and attract what is meaningful for you to have. And these are, you get these 2 cards together, and that's long-term, it's a long-term payoff. And in the end, guess what we get, guys? Because as we go from, we had the Page of Swords, then we go to, we have this ability to take this offer and to learn from it and to grow from it. I mean, you only go up from here, right? I know or somebody once thought they knew everything, but trust me, they didn't. There was more along that they were supposed to know in their journey in life. So we've got a completion energy, which is the 21. We've got the 10 of swords, and we've got the 10 of wands. Completion. This is the end of these karmic cycles. Understand, Saturn is karma. And so it's the release and the end of all of this negativity that you guys have, and walking away from it and feeling alive again, feeling like you can take action and do anything you want to do right now. So let's go to your oracles. We have a dark woman, dealings with relationships with a woman with dark hair and a complexion. There might be something that comes up that, you know, a dark-haired woman is significant in this journey. Mountain, a major challenge to overcome. Well, yeah, we have a lot. We've got a lot. We've got to overcome this bridge. We've got to overcome these fears and these thoughts of feeling of like lack and regret and remorse. And that's all that retrograde crap that's sitting in your head, festering negativity in your life. You don't need it, because, guys, we have the world and the wheel. It turns. Karma and fate, it's constantly turning. So indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. I think of this energy, I'm not going to lie. I think of, you know, this type of energy. That's what happens when you get on this wheel, like you get on this ride. You start having these cycles repeat themselves over and over and over again. Well, release yourself from this karmic burden. You've learned everything you need to learn. You don't need to keep repeating that cycle. You've got it, you know. Don't let this energy, don't be tethered to negative energy. You guys got the lion. Fire. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful, because you've got your beautiful queen. You've got your lion. I saw the Ace of Wands here. Look at all this beautiful fire, regal fire, action-oriented energy that allows you to embrace who you are, to move forward with your new ding self, and to claim your status and to claim your respect and to walk with dignity and to walk in a frame of mind where you are, you know, the king of the jungle. There's something special about you, for certain. Okay. Goddess. We got the king and the goddess. Light attribute. A feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. A shadow aspect is exploitation of the female nature and form. You know, when we learn lessons like this, we tend to think we're not attractive anymore. We don't have anything to offer. You know, we get caught in these cycles in our head. I keep just looking at this card. It's glaring at me. This Scorpio moon is thick in here. I'm feeling Scorpio energy so much in this negative fear-based mindset that Scorpio can generate in us. And it's judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. You know, the biggest judge, to be honest with you, the biggest judge that we have is ourselves. We judge ourselves. And then if anybody else confirms those judgments, then we must be that, right? We must be this terrible person. And but what we're being taught by Saturn, so Saturn is the teacher in elevated learning, is that we don't have to stay stuck in old patterns and stagnant patterns in our lives. We can always move forward and change. It's one of the most beautiful things about will. We can either have the victim mentality, or we can we can do some actions to change our destiny, right? Gratitude, the last quarter of the moon. Be thankful for what you have and who you are and how much you've been through and how much you've learned. Don't define yourself by failure. Define yourselves by your strengths. Be proud of who you are. Look at yourself as a goddess. I know that you're weathered and tired, and you just need some freaking rest, and it just seems like it's been one thing after another, but I just promise you, it's such a beautiful energy. You guys, we got hope. Yes. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about hope. Hope is Neptune and Pisces in a beautiful sextile with Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, both in retrograde, in this conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn. That is granting you a wish. That is helping you expand to your potential. That is all of these aces coming into your life for you to make a change. Then we have dream time, creation. Well, Neptune, the positivity, getting out of the negative headspace and all this fear and dark thoughts, dream time would be hope and creativity, and that is created in Neptune. So tapping into Neptune, do something with your hands. Whatever creation means to you will usher in the positive high vibration of this energy, take you out of karmic lessons and into manifestation. The goddess, again, you got 2 goddess cards. So if you are a man and you're watching this, then maybe you're just going to attract this beautiful goddess. Or if you are a masculine energy and you want to attract this goddess, this is possible in here. This is highly possible in this energy. Not to mention that just getting connected with your divine feminine and understanding the power that you have will then manifest all of this goddess energy that we have going on in this reading. Whoa. Sexuality. So stunning. Well, sexuality, dude, we have a moon in Scorpio. Do we need to say more? Squaring off with Pluto. This could just be a physical connection, not gonna lie. There's some sexuality, some driven by heat and lust and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of fire on this table, so that means that what you could attract initially is just pure heat and passion, and then it morphs into something else kind of unexpected. Defend to the end the worthwhile. You are worth this. You are worthy of this type of energy, and never, you are a goddess, okay? You are worth this level of energy coming into your life, creating this kind of reward, for sure. Okay, and the final one for you is clearing the excess. You are entering a transition phase, and it would benefit from clearing away any excess clutter, whether it is in your physical body or your physical space. I mean, you're a goddess. I think when we go through cleansing and clearings and we release things and we let go of things, that is when we can open up room for new things to be invited. And that is essentially Pluto. Pluto essentially is the destruction of something to make room for something else. It's a clearing process. It's a clearing of karma. And so this is really good energy for you guys. Anyway, that is it for pile number 2. Hi guys, this is pile number 3. Thank you for choosing to watch Annette's, that was my old channel, Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot. So what is this about? This is about Pluto and Capricorn. I'm going to link in the description box the time for the definition of this astrological event. However, I will probably touch on it throughout the reading as well. You'll get enough that you don't have to watch that first part. So far, 1 and 2 were connected, having the same messages, because let's face it, this energy affects everybody. These are external planets, which means that these energies have a lot to do with what is going on in the external world that is impacting us on a very personal level. These things take a lot of time to figure out and to work through, and they can be very, well, it's going to change everything, because you've got the Jupiter, the planet that rules luck and expansion, in Capricorn and retrograde, having to do with your past, and then you've got Pluto in Capricorn in retrograde. That has to do with death, rebirth. That has to do with destroying something so you can make place for a new energy. It has to do with the underworld, the fears, the darkness that lies within all of us. It has to do with that as well. So all of that is kind of ruled by all this energy. They are conjunct, which means that they are in the same exact degree, which causes a huge energy burst in these two energies. And these are external. They take a long time to fully manifest their energy. But this is coming in as a powder keg kind of energy. So let's just talk a little bit about that. I'm going to put this over here for now. Over there. Oh, what just happened? Why is it like that? Oh no. I hate it when I'm not paying attention and I do that accidentally. Okay, that's good. Okay. So we need to figure out, I need to figure out what energy is applying to you so that we can work on it and get your energy in its best possible place. These are super stiff still. Okay. So I just lay these out. And I just look for cards that speak to me. Ooh, this one definitely spoke to me. So this one. And this one. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing okay. There's a lot of energy out in the world. A lot to try to figure out. You know, we have a moon in Scorpio that's squaring off with this huge conjunction, which means it has a lot to do with the dwelling, things that lie beneath the surface, the untruths, the hidden truth, the darkest parts of people's agendas. You know, when it's in a square, it's jealousy, possessiveness, all kinds of stuff. So let's see what's going on. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, she literally has came out in every pile. Okay, I call her she, but the energy in that card. Yes. Yes. We get a wish. We get to make a wish. Because we're releasing karma, right? So what can we want to usher in good energy. So if we've released something and we've made room for something in our lives, that means that there's some room for you to make a wish in exactly what you want your reality to look like, exactly what you want the material, your material realm to manifest. So we get a wish. We'll do that a little later. I'm so happy when I get to make a wish in my readings. So this is consciousness. Yes, Empress, my favorite card, all-time favorite card. She's a 3. I'm a 3 life path. And she just, every time I see her, she's so loving, warm, nurturing. Everything she touches grows. So she's very divine. This is a divine sign. As far as I'm concerned, when she shows up, I know that, especially when you combine it with the fact you get to make a wish, right? This is the future energy. This is what's going on. And this is with all the energy that led up to this big conjunction. We have the 8 of Cups. This was in pile number 1. And, we get the Lovers. And it's funny. The Lovers was one of the ones that kind of fell, and then I put it back, and now it shows up again. So I know, yep, you want to be heard. You want me to just talk to you because you got something to say. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. My bad. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this. Ooh, the Emperor was in pile number 2, and so was this. I really shuffle these, so it kills me. Okay. 5 of Swords. I've been doing readings all day, so some of these are blurring together for me. Which ones are in what? 10 of Cups. I love that we're getting... So karma is, what we always work to clear, or what we deal with as we come into this physical world, as we, take host in this physical body and go on this physical experience. And karma is something that we have to work with and to release ourselves from. That was in pile number 2. Ooh, we got the Tower. I don't get the Tower very often. King of Wands. Hello, hot stuff. And we have the High Priestess. Okay. So I almost forgot our outcome card here. We've got the beautiful Queen of Cups, and she probably is my most favorite queen. I love all the queens, but she's my favorite because look at her sitting there in her chair, just, she's at peace, she's calm, she's collected, she knows who she is, she's so secure. And I want to be her. Like, I want to be this woman so bad. Like, I mean, this divine feminine. I'm trying to stay away from using gender-specific pronouns because that's inappropriate. Okay. The rainbow comes up in here, too. I just want to point that out. So, pile number 3. What is this about for you? Give me a second to try to look at, so we've got 4s. Do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. I would trip out if I had 4 4s. So 4s are very significant, and 4s have to do with stability. So let's take a look at our 4s, just because I like to point out synchronicities when we start out, just because I need to see them too. So the Emperor rules the 4s, right? He oversees the 4s. And so there is a feeling of, you know, you've built a lot, you've came really far, and there's a fear of losing something that you have built in this material realm and feeling like it's fleeting and it could go anytime. Problem with is when you get in this type of mentality, when you get in a state of lack, you attract lack. You attract things that will take your resources. So you never want to get in a place, you want to be in the Emperor's mindset. Secure, always working hard, always, you know, working hard to keep growth happening. But it's solid, whatever he builds, it remains his, and getting in this, or this divine masculine's energy. So being kind of in your head, I feel like, a lot of what's going on in the divine feminine's types energy is just in your head about, you know, what it took to get here and how long it took to build this, and there's some insecurity about it. That's definitely what I see. I was trying to remember. It was like this, I think. Okay. So 4s. I'm glad that we have our Emperor here because this just makes everything much more solid, much more stable. There's this feeling of being in power. And power is an important conversation to have in this because Pluto in Capricorn conjunct with Jupiter in Capricorn, both in retrograde, both of those conjunct with Saturn in Aquarius means moving forward, we have to do things differently. And because everything is so different, I feel like that can be a little nerve-wracking. Mind you, this entire event is squaring off a moon in Scorpio. So that is a little bit of that triggers a little bit of fear, not a little bit of fear, a lot of fear, because, you know, you're moving forward. You know, you're moving forward and away from the circumstance. It's slow, steady growth. But, you know, you've worked really hard for this and you don't want that to go away from you. And you know how the work that it takes to get this kind of growth. The problem is that, you know, there's almost a paranoia I feel about this. There's almost a feeling of like overpowering others, not giving back, not being generous. Because you may have more than others, or this person that you're watching for may have more than others. It's almost like they're stingy and kind of like a hoarder and kind of scared to move forward, and which is what is being divinely guided in this energy, because you know you're moving toward all of this. So let's talk about the mind and the bridge. So here's subconscious. This is like Neptune. This is what's going on. It's going to be this Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, exact burst of energy, conjunction. So this would be Neptune. This is very, this Capricorn energy, and this is how we move. This is what we're conscious of. And it's really important to understand these dynamics, because the bridge that you have to walk over, the bridge through the troubled waters per se, is, it feels like at some point you were in a no-win situation. You learned a lot. You may have even turned a blind eye to some of the realizations that you needed to learn from this. There's a resistance to seeing it for what it was, but you don't understand. That was the whole point. The whole point was to pull you out of your mind and get you in touch with the emotional realm. If you notice, there's no cups here, and even this cup is a culmination. A 10 is a completion, a culmination. It's like maybe some of you have built the happy family and you have the stability you want, but something is lacking. Something just, you need more. And I feel like that could be this feeling of, life is just always going to be this way. And this doesn't feel very fulfilling next to this 10 of cups. And you think it would be more than that. But for some reason, I'm feeling like there's maybe, you've got to a point where you've created a level of success and emotional abundance, but I'm feeling like you need more. I don't know why I'm feeling that. Let's take a look at what's going on in the subconscious. We've got the beautiful King of Wands, and look at him all fierce and his bad self. So the Lion was in pile number 2, and there was a lot of fire energy in pile number 1 and 2. So to define his energy, I would think that, I'm worried a little bit about ego playing a part in this. These cards are probably, I think, 2 of the cards I would associate with a lot of ego. So let's take a look at what's going on in ego. Ego would be Aries and Mars, or Mars and Aries, and it is squaring off with the Sun, with Mercury, and the North Node. It's squaring also off with Jupiter and Capricorn, Pluto, this exact conjunction, and it's squaring off with Saturn. This is a conversation about your guys' ego, for sure. Or whomever you are watching this for, or however this is being tied into you. It could be a boss. It could be a person who has authority over you in some way, too. Very masculine, very dominant, almost maybe domineering. I feel like this one is to walk away from this restrictive, narcissistic. Feels very bad. I don't like that. I don't know. There's a couple ways I can look at it, but I'm feeling now that we're talking about what's going on in the subconscious, I feel like you need to release ego a little bit, get off. This is like feeling entitled, being on your high horse about something, thinking you don't have anything to learn or you don't need to do anything to grow from this circumstance. We don't want to stay there. We want to be in this humble place of, removing yourself from hurtful situations. So this could be a person that, if we're talking about the moon in Scorpio, what could be going on here is there was once this painful experience where ego really became a monster, either in your life or it was a monster, or you had to deal with this beast in your life. And, you walked away and there was a big consequence for it. There was this emotional burden, but you chose to walk away to save yourself because you just knew it wouldn't get any better. You just knew that this circumstance, this toxicity, this toxic person in your life, this dominating, this person that wanted ultimate control over the circumstance, you know, you just knew it was time to walk away and to release yourself. And when you did that, you got this download of from the universe that you deserved more. When you got this download, I feel like the bridge of that was the realization. You know, this, and once you get a realization, guys, once Neptune, there was a big square, right? With the solar eclipse. And once you got that download and that realization, and those thoughts come, they are relentless and they can wreak a lot of havoc. Because I feel like at one point, I don't know why I'm feeling this. Why is this a love reading? Or it doesn't even have to be about love. I feel like love is part of this, but I feel like there might be a pattern of dominating and controlling people in your life. People that are like not available, not giving and warm and loving, holding back. That's kind of what I feel. And, you know, I feel like at one point, what we had to get past was, you know, the promise was to be something big and exciting and new and rewarding, and it just wasn't. So it's this thought of letting go. I also see work here. I don't know why. I see work very strong here, but I also see relationships. It could be for a couple of you. Okay. Conscious. So what we're conscious of, right? Well, 5 of Pentacles, and we got the 5 of, so even in our bridge, we're still carrying that energy into consciousness. So it was the realization, and then it was, you know, you went from the 4 to the 5, okay? So we went from the past, went over this bridge. Now we're super conscious of what that cost us, what, you know, the penalty of that was. I feel like it was a rebuilding. Maybe it was, I think maybe it was just a release. You have to release energy like this. So the Tower moment comes into your life, and it creates this realization and this awareness and this feeling of remorse about maybe, I feel like some of you may have realized that you were part of the problem, you know? And that can happen when karma steps into our life and teaches us about our part in our life as we co-create our life. So Tower moment comes in, creates a release, harshly, might I add, granted, but it's a dramatic burst of energy. It creates this release. It could happen literally in this moment, right? Where we have Pluto, the destructor, Jupiter expanding something, and Saturn releasing you from a karmic event. So it could get you closer to this Empress, who just know that she's here protecting you. The Empress energy is your saving grace. Everything you touch will grow with her. You do have to release yourself from, again, I'm feeling a lot of victim mentality in this one. But let's talk about this. Let's move past this, because you have the Empress, and, you know, of course, everything she touches grows. And you've got this beautiful new offer from this King of Cups. And you went from this energy where you had to release yourself, possibly start over again, or you really, really learned what you wanted, right? And then you attract it. And you have to accept this offer. You have to believe that this wish can come true that you want, the picture that you want in your material realm. You have to believe that this can come to you. It may be slower than you want it to, but it can and it will happen. But you have to believe that it can and will happen. Okay? So this is your future. So let's sit down and talk about this, because let's make a wish. I want you to take a look at this card, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to wish. I want you to picture what your perfect material realm would look like, your physical realm. What would it look like? And I want you to really, really think about this. And you're gonna be surprised on how simple your wants and needs are at this point, because the Tower moment has been so crazy for us. It has simplified everything, and it has put things into perspective. What has it put in perspective for you? This Tower moment. What do you want to grow out of all of this pain and suffering and realization and just hardcore truths? Like, what do you want to grow? Because you have the capacity to have this Tower moment create this for you, to create some room for this to grow. Okay? Let's take a look at our outcome. Well, look at that. Look at that. That's your outcome. From you have to remove yourself from a mindset where you are a victim. You have to get out of this energy to cross over to this energy to get you to this outcome. You've got to know that this isn't where you stay in your karma. That you get this in your karma, okay? And so you're the Queen of Cups. Look at how in tune you are now, how much more intuitive you are, how much more aligned you are with Source, how much more that you can attract, because you can feel and know and believe that there is something more, because you are so tuned into what life is really supposed to be about. Look at her vibration. Look at your divine feminine's vibration. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at beauty. That's beauty right there. That's confidence. That's security. That is, you've got the emotional realm safe. You've achieved what you wanted, and you have your physical realm in a safe spot. And look at you coming forth with attracting a soulmate, a lover, a bond like no other. You've made room for that in your life. Such a beautiful reading. Lover is about making choices too. It's the twos. It's that waffling back and forth and making a choice. I think of the lovers like that. I think, because 3 + 3 is 6. So it's 2 3s, right? It's so beautiful. I'm not going to lie, you have it hard. This is going to be a burst of realization. It's going to be a sudden download of information. It's going to be tough. It's the journey ahead is, the reward is great, but it is definitely an intense realization. I'm not going to lie with you guys. Because, all this energy is in retrograde. This deals with a lot of past issues. It could deal with, I'm even seeing some daddy issues, kind of. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am. Okay, let's take a look at our oracle cards, our hugs. Lily, spiritual love. Do you not have spiritual love? Like, do I need to keep going? Like, look at all this love that you have in spirit. Lily is a very good sign, by the way. Okay, so we have Lily. A seahorse, family matters. Beautiful. Look at that. Maybe building the perfect family, maybe working on your family. That is all really good energy in here, because Pluto and Capricorn, its polarity is the Sun in Cancer, and the Sun in Cancer is in a delicious mood. It's conjunct with Mercury in Cancer, kind of, going through some stuff from our past, but it's also sextiling Uranus and Taurus. And it's also trining this moon in Scorpio. So cups are a big deal. I mean, we get this Queen of Cups. I just feel like you can't get better. A two-faced friend, a cat. Okay, so let's talk about that. That's this. That's realization. That's, you know, our family are our friends. Our lovers are our friends, you know, and it's hard when they do things that seem like they don't have our best interests in mind. The spider. Very, very intuitive. I like to read from the book because I have a different spirit animal deck. Where is the book? And I'm just now learning to work with, I mean, obviously I could just intuitively read this, but I'm actually very interested in this deck. So, I mean, I feel that the energy, but I really want to get this right because this is about your guys' karma. This is about where you guys are going with your life. The spider. Creator of prosperity through life's work and dharma. So the spider is an igneous creator. Its greatest gift is weaving a thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it. Both financially and spiritually, it's hard work, but the spider neither tires nor it becomes impatient. This card reminds us of creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than the results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like a weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry of abundance. Hallelujah! Oh, I love this. I deeply love this. I couldn't wait to get it. I do think of the hard work it does take to build a foundation that's this strong, as strong as a spider's web. Spider's webs are a material that we can't duplicate. Our most brilliant minds can't duplicate the strength of a web. It is very interesting. That is where you are at in your spiritual journey. You know, you can't duplicate what you're going through. Like, this isn't a duplication. This is ending something and beginning something, transforming your life. We got the femme fatale. So light attributes highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow aspects, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and to power. I think of the femme fatale when I think of these guys right here. Sensual, erotic, confident, beautiful, powerful women. Feminine, or your feminine side. You know, there's nothing more beautiful when a masculine taps into some feminine energy and the divine masculine taps into some feminine energy and becomes vulnerable. That's such a sexy thing that happens with men when they do that, or masculine energy. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. You know, we want to let go. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. You make mistakes. I think you need to forgive yourself for being in this situation. I think you need to release yourself from the past and to move forward and to forgive yourself or anybody else who has wronged you, so that you cannot harbor that energy and it fester darkness and lack and self-worth issues. You don't want that energy to be festering in you anywhere. A milestone. I love this. It is a milestone to get past to this point where we're in energy, and you know, you guys, we are dealing with so much, and this is a milestone. We are releasing a very, very intense time to transform and to change it for the better for our future. Discernment. I think of this as discernment. Her as discernment. You know, this is just being highly intuitive. What has sharpened you and has created a difference in your life is you're now a different person. Your intuition has been heightened because you have learned this lesson. Strength. Strength came up again. We had the strength of the spider's web. That was huge. I also see two very, very strong masculine energies in here. Look at the strength and the power and the resilience and the stability that you feel. This feels rock solid. It feels hard, you know? Okay. I know this reading is getting long. Total submersion. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, an interest, or a goal. Give it 100% of your energy, and you may find that life has been lacking. Yeah, we submerge. Total submersion is a moon in Scorpio. Diving deep, getting to the bottom of things. Tapping into your intuition. That is a very intuitive energy. Submerge yourself in this energy and really harness this burst of energy to release you from something that, you know, once was a very difficult time. Pandora's gift. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a journey I went on. When I first realized that I was an empath, I was very upset about it. But it opened, and I felt like it had opened up Pandora's box for me. And then after that, everything else flooded in. And so karma can be one of those things where what it ushers in, you may be somewhat fearful of, because, you know, you've intuitively always known it was there, but now you really know it's there. Discover your life's purpose. I think that these energies this time is about becoming purposeful in our lives and, you know, walking forward and, you know, changing your future. And really embracing the potential. You know, your life purpose is being this solid, you know, this secure in where you want everything to go. We have universal heart. I'm going to read this one because I'm getting to know this one too. Where is it? It's Earth Magic. Universal Love. I'm getting to know this artist. Tony, which is a male. I said it was a female in a different one, but it's actually a male. So I'm just going to read what he has to say. Oh. I had coffee, so I'm shaky. Actually, I had a lot of coffee. Okay, Universal Heart. Okay. Stare into the face of this card. What does it reflect to you? Meditate on this card. Find a space beyond your thoughts where you have to access infinite creation. Endless possibilities open to you when you go within. Drifting in space, we can take in the light of a billion stars. Find the quiet within and let yourself drift into this space without attachment and take in the glory of your potential. The creativity within you is limitless. All is possible for you. Explore the light within by choosing to bring spark into your world. I think of, when I see this, the limitlessness of this, your potential. I can't help but tune into these. You know, we've got the Emperor here. I just feel the strength and even this I could feel. Tune into this moment. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to create? What do you want to grow? Meditate on that. Think about it. You know, think about where is it at? what you want that material realm to be. You know, you get your wish now. What would you, if you could have it, if tomorrow you woke up tomorrow and you had $500 million, like what would your destiny look like? Like what would everything look like for you? That's what I see. Okay, lots of stuff. And then we have we have the tsunami wake-up call. Okay, do we not have a wake-up call? Where'd it go? I know it's here somewhere. Well, so for you guys are going to be probably in a square before you're in the positivity of this energy. Something is going to rattle and shake everything up, and it's going to be a wake-up call that this has to change. If there's a power and control struggle, which I kind of felt with, no lie, with this stuff going on. Where'd it go? Oh, here she is. I feel like there was something not right about that. And it felt very restrictive and very, I don't know. It wasn't him. I apologize. It was him. This divine masculine. It just felt like there was a power and control issue, a wake-up call, a realization, new information, a submersion, I would think, to get down to the truth, to get to the nitty-gritty. I feel like a truth comes out in this energy, something that's tough, something that's difficult to see. Anyhow, guys, that is it for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for Tarot Tuesday. I'm going to try to be doing these once a week. Tarot Tuesday for me is going to represent, you know, we're just going to talk about the week's events for and do some tarot in astrology. And then if astrological events come up, we'll, you know, we'll talk about those on an individual basis, because I need to spend time on that. Like that can't be part of Tarot Tuesday. It just has to be the calm kind of like vibe of the week for me to include it in Tarot Tuesday. But this is a fun Tarot Tuesday. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you guys again real soon.